go ahead and do a recording. Okay. So I just want to say thanks for coming. I know there's a lot of traffic and of course with parking. It's a bit of a madhouse out there. We wanted to go ahead and get started because we do have people who are logged in virtually. And just to let you know, this is going to be recorded. And you can access the slides and the full presentation for probably about the next 30 days. And maybe even the entire time. It just depends on when we take it off. But I'll definitely leave it up until the applications are due. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just talk about the business plan competition. We're going to talk about different metrics that are going to be viewed in your business plans, some important dates that you need to remember. We'll also do a Q&A. I'll talk about the website a little bit, and I'll take you through PitchBurner. So I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Sarah Engel. I'm the program manager at the Jake Jabb Center for Entrepreneurship. This is the 14th year that the Center for Entrepreneurship has had a business plan competition. This is the second year that the Jake Jabb Center has taken this competition regionally. You can now apply to this if you are a graduate student at any state school in Montana, Wyoming, and, oh, I forgot one. Colorado, obviously. Okay. So let's talk about eligibility for the business plan competition. It used to be only graduate students. That's now opened up a little more. A lot of things about this business plan competition are actually going to change in the next 3 to 5 years. So it's a great time to be a part of this and to see how it's going to change and, you know, be part of the backstory. So things that you need to know, your organization needs to be less than 2 years old. So we do let a little bit of leeway in this. We do have students that come to us and say, you know, I started my business, like technically I started 3 years ago, but really I haven't done anything. Really, I started this year. Can I still apply? If you come and you talk to us and you tell us your situation, we'll let you know. You cannot have any previous angel or venture funding that has come in or any seed funding that you've collected. You can't have done crowdfunding. This is something that we don't have any leeway on. We really are looking for startups. You have to include in your business plan, you need to have financials. And your finalists, if our top 6 finalists, by the time that you present at finalists, your presentations in the awards luncheon day, you need to go ahead and have applied for your financial identification number. The reason I say that is, if you make it in the top 6 finalists, you will be receiving a cash award of some amount. And we cannot give that to you if you don't have one of these numbers. So do that. Like I said, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana, any university. Last year it was any state university. Now we're opening it up to any university. And it's going to be any graduate student from those states. And then we have some exceptions that we include for CU Denver specifically. That's going to include any alumni of CU Denver, any undergraduate, and that also includes any students that are in our Launchpad program, which is a new program we're running down in South Denver. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to PitchBurner. This business.ucdenver.edu/competition. This is the URL for the main page. Anytime you go there, you have access to all of the dates, RSVPs, different hints and tips and things to think about when you're putting your business plan together, our contact information. You can see our sponsors. You can see if media has picked up on the event. You can also access PitchBurner. And you need this because PitchBurner is where all of your requirements apply for getting your business plan to us. So you'll go to PitchBurner. You'll look, so once you go to /competition, go to competitor information, and there's going to be a link for PitchBurner. It should be a big yellow button and it says apply here, access PitchBurner here. You click and it's going to take you to this left side of the screen. That's our landing page on PitchBurner. It's pretty simple. It gives you the basics. It talks about how much money we're giving away. It talks about your in-kind services, and I'll cover some of that too. And the right side is what, you know, we did a little screenshot. I'm not going to log in and take you through, but it's pretty basic. This top information, this is your name, what university program you're in, what university you're with. that kind of information. You will have the option on the next page to put in your teammates, and you can change that through the entire time until you've submitted your final business plan. And if you just want to put your information in, that's fine. The plus side of putting in more than one teammate is that when I pull up all of the backside of the system and I'm sending emails out to different applicants, it allows me to email more than one person from the team. So if somebody is busy or somebody is out of town, which happens with our 11-month MBA students, another person on the team still gets that email and can still respond. So I do recommend that if you have more than one team member. Some other things that you want to think about on this side is you're going to have the option to download your executive summary and your business plan. You do it in the same place. Right now, what we're looking for is your executive summary, and that's all that's required for the first deadline. So just get in, get your name in, get your company, your basic information, and an executive summary. We do ask you to please save those file names as your company name so that when we're filing things later on the backside, it's just easier for us to access versus having random numbers and letters. So think about that. Please use your company name or your business name. It can be a PDF, that's our preferred. If it allows you to do another version, that's okay. So we just prefer PDF. You do not have to have your business plan in until later in the whole process. It's not required in 1 month that you get the entire business plan. You've got some time. Executive summary only. Here's the big thing. It's not going to accept your application at all unless you go to the bottom of the screen, you read this little clause, it says that you fit the requirements, you check I accept, and you hit submit. Once you've done that, you're in the system, you're an applicant. We usually have about 60 applicants. We'll probably have some more this year, and that's where it starts. Now, it narrows down with every process. Not all 60 are going to submit their business plans, but all 60 will send in an executive summary. So while we're talking about business plans, like I said, our URL, it's got some different tips and hints. It gives you some good sites that you can reference. It talks about doing business plans. Small Business Administration is one of those. It kind of also lists off these different pieces. This is stuff that you want to think about when you're doing your business plan. It varies per plan. Your company may require 5 or 6 or 7, or last year we had one with 15 appendices. And that might be your business, and that's fine. These are just basics to think about. Like, you don't want it to be too long because you need the judges to read the entire plan, but you want it to be concise. So things that you absolutely need to have, you've got to have the executive summary, which you would have already been working on. You can make changes to that executive summary after you've submitted it. Everything in the system can be changed until the final due date. So you need to have a vision, obviously, your mission statement, marketing competitive analysis, description of the product, organization and management structures, your marketing, your sales strategy, your financial management. And we're going to do later in this process, we're going to have a plan improvement workshop. It's going to give you an opportunity to take the plan you've been working on, sit down with advisors and mentors, talk to them, and actually say, here's my plan. I'm not sure how I feel about, this financial statement. Can you tell me what your thoughts are? Can I get some advice? And we'll do that. And you'll have about, it varies, but we'll probably have about 45 minutes to an hour for that. So everybody always wants to know, well, who's reviewing my plans? What's going to be the process? So every plan will be evaluated by 3 different reviewers. Some plans will have even a 4th or a 5th, but every plan will have at least 3 reviewers. At the end of the process, you can even request their comments if they've provided any, and you can see how they've scored your plans. And we'll provide that to anybody. You don't just have to be a finalist. So, and that's kind of something that's great about this, is that we give a lot of feedback and a lot of different components in this competition that you don't get in others, where it's, if you're a finalist, you present and then you win money and that's it. We have a lot of stuff that happens from now until the actual awards luncheon that gives everybody access to mentors, everybody access to advising. So you're getting information even if you're not a top 6 finalist. And like I said, our reviewers, they're going to include a lot of those people that you'll have access to, that you'll get to talk to during these different events. Faculty, administration, advisory council members, Denver community associates. These people are also, I want to say, a handful of them are venture capitalists. A handful of them are angel investors. So it's another benefit. So you don't get your plan in front of the 4 judges at the end of the competition, but you don't know how many have read it in the reviewing process or that you've sat down with. And we've introduced them to you as advisors or mentors. And you know what? They're also venture capitalists. And usually we'll tell you, but at pitch night, sometimes we let you figure it out on your own, or we have you do that research so that you know kind of it's more of the process, more of the challenge. So at the end, our reviewers are going to break plans down. So the second to last week of May, we're going to be telling people who the top 15 plans are. After that, we're going to be sitting down. We're going to be looking at the top 6 plans. Those top 6 plans, well, it doesn't have to be 6. It could be 4, it could be 7. It's usually right about 6. They're going to be the ones that present on the final day. They're going to be the ones who are sitting in front of the panel of judges, who are doing a full presentation, who are answering a ton of questions, who are really going for those finalist awards. We'll be paying out, in the past years, we've paid $10,000 to our first place winner. We're looking at increasing cash amounts this year. And then of course, like I said, there are a lot of benefits that lead up to the day that you're already getting. And then in addition to cash awards for finalists, we give them set in-kind awards. That's a marketing plan so that they can work with a company here in town. It's legal advice that a law firm has signed on that will help with that information. A lot of different digital marketing, it just varies, accounting, tax, a lot of stuff. And that varies probably around $50,000 with the whole package. It's shared between the finalists. So a big thing, and this is why I referenced that this is going to be saved on the website, is a lot of people will follow up and they'll say, I can't remember what was the scoring metrics, what should I be thinking about? This is the scoring metrics. When they're reviewing your plans, they're looking at each of these bullet points. They'll be scoring you on a value of 1 to 10. And then we'll be taking cumulative scores at the end. So that's why I just wanted to say, this is going to be up on the website. You're going to have access to it. You can go back, you can reference it. Or if you want me to just send you just this page, that's fine. Please contact me. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm happy to send you some information, keep you updated on what's going on. So let's talk about important dates and a couple of different things, and we'll get to the Q&A. And I just want to let you know, the website also has, anytime we have frequently asked questions, we always update them on the website. If there's any question we can't answer tonight, then we'll put it up on the website, but it's nice for everybody to be able to see. If you're logged in virtually, you actually don't have mic capabilities tonight, but please feel free to email us. It's on this left side of the screen, jakejabs.center@ucdenver.edu. That's the best way to reach us. Myself or our program assistant, Vidyu, will be able to assist you through that inbox. And you'll be receiving all of your communications from that email address as well. So anytime you see that coming into your inbox, know you need to open it because there's important information there. So let's talk about some of the different dates. So we've got orientation today, and I talked about that executive summary that you need to have in the system. Between now and March 5th, you need to get into PitchBurner, you need to load your team, or just yourself. If it's just yourself, that's fine. Then you need to accept the waiver at the base. You need to have downloaded your executive summary. Keep in mind, you can make any changes on that executive summary that you want to up until the final day. So some other events that you want to keep in mind, and these are the things that I was talking about, there are going to be opportunities for you to get in front of investors, to get in front of advisors. Even if you don't make the finals, you're going to have an opportunity to get advice about your business plan, future opportunities, and to also network and connect. So that event takes place on March 31st. That will probably be here. We will be updating you as the time goes by. What will happen is we'll do presentations at the beginning. It's about making a pitch. And it's kind of things you need to think about when you get in front of an investor and what they're looking for, because that's leading into the elevator pitch night. The rest of that night is dedicated to sitting down with advisors, seeing who you need, finding the advice that you need, and they'll all be broken up based on industry. So we'll make it very easy for you. It'll be very fluid, and it's just a nice event to just get a lot of information. So the next up, we have the big date, which is April 27th. On April 27th, your full business plans are due in PitchBurner. After April 27th, PitchBurner will not let you make any edits to your application. I'll be shutting it off probably at 5 p.m. that day. Up until that time, you could change anything. You could change your company name. You could change your whole executive summary. That's fine. After April 27th, you can't make any changes. Now, if I go in and I see that there's something wrong with an application, or I see that something didn't download correctly, or it's not opening on the other end, I might contact you personally, and that's, we're not going to be super like stingy and hard about it, but we are going to work with you if something's gone wrong. But April 27th is the deadline. So if there's nothing in there, you really can't allow anything after that. If there's an issue with it, that's a little different. If you've contacted me, that's a little different. So April 27th, keep that in the back of your head. You don't want to miss that. Then we've got April 30th. This, like I said, we're going to do pitch and plan improvement night. It's going to talk about making a pitch, but you really want to kind of focus on your plans, getting you ready for your plans. Do it in April. Then you need to switch over in 3 days. You need to be thinking about your elevator pitch. Does anybody know what an elevator pitch is?
You got like a 2-3 minute, spiel to kind of walk into the elevator. There's your guy. You pitch your fantastic idea, and you kind of elaborate on it really quick before you get to the board.
Right. So elevator pitch night. How fast can I talk about my company, and how fast can I hit every single investor in this room? How do I talk to every single investor in this room? Because every other applicant is here tonight, because this is a mandatory event. If you live in the Denver area, this is mandatory. You have to attend this event. If you have class that night, please contact me. We'll work with you. We are going to do a virtual night, a virtual pitch night for those that are either out of the country. Some of our 11-month MBA, they should be back, but we might make an exception for them. Anyone who's not in the Denver Boulder area can do the virtual pitch night. We don't have the date of that set yet. But if you are in Denver and you do not have class that night, this is mandatory. This event will most likely be held at one of the up-and-coming entrepreneurial open workspaces that we've discussed. It's going to be a pretty interesting night. We kind of changed a few things last year, and we'll change a few things this year. The room is going to be full with mock investors. The mock investors did we give them $5 million last year? Yeah, I think we gave them $5 million last year. I wish it was real money, but it's not. So it's $5 million mock funds. And they have that to give away to whoever they want to. They don't have to give it all to one team. They can give it to 20 teams. They can give it to 2 teams. They can give it to 10 teams. It doesn't matter. We have investors that will only give it to one team. And that happens.
And there are investors who say that we don't want to give it to anybody.
Yeah.
So they don't spend any of the $5 million. They pocket it.
Yeah.
Pocket fake money.
They pocket their fake money. And some things to note about the investors. Last year, we actually had a couple of the judges there that night as mock investors. We had not announced them as judges. So it was up to the finalists to work the room. It was up to the finalists to get around, to see the investors, to get in front of them, and to work that for the money and for the funds. It kind of gives you that real world feel. We're not just going to put everything in front of you because it's not how it's going to work in the real world. But we had some judges that were there, so they already saw some plans. We had some very successful venture capitalists that were there, some angel investors that were there. We had several of those mock investors say, here's my allotment for the night. It was all done on paper, and they told us, I actually took a lot of notes. Could you send this all back to me? Because I wanted to contact some of these companies. And finalists will show up, applicants will show up that night. They will have a business card. They will have a fact sheet about their company. They will have some that have already gone to the extremes of they're already doing actual printing. So they're printed on cardstock. It just varies. And it's whatever you want to do that night. And it's whatever you pick for your company. But the point is, gives you that real world feel of what it's like to be in front of an investor. And some of them will also take that time to kind of give you some advice about your pitch and to give you some help on like moving forward to the next person. So that's April 30th. It could be April 29th, but I think we're going to do April 30th, so it's already up here. It's like I said, all of your applications are due April 27th. Again, on that PDF, when you load it to PitchBurner, try to use your company name. So that brings us to the finalist selection. So that goes back to the 3 to 4 or 5 reviewers for every plan. They're going to review, we pull in the scores, we look at the scores, go through all that information. The week of May 18th, we'll be sending out the finalists. We'll probably do the top 15 first, just to let people know. We have an additional meeting between a select group of investors and different business advisors and community members, and they break it down from the top 15 to the top 6 or 7 or so. Those top plans will have an opportunity to do a practice presentation, and then after that practice presentation, it comes to the final day. They're going to be sitting in front of the judges. Well, actually, they'll be standing. So they'll be in front of the judges, and then we'll have an awards luncheon. You'll see all this money, you'll see a big check, you get a little award. There'll be a ton of people there. There's usually news people there. Our MC this year is actually a local Denver anchor with CNN. And we have a keynote speaker. We're announcing names next week. So he is with a startup here that does video marketing. They were 2013 Ernst & Young members to watch. They're in the 2015 companies to watch for Denver. It's going to be very exciting. Everything just happens really fast that day. But like I said, maybe there's only 6 teams there that day that get to do finalist presentations, but we have all this opportunity for you to get advice and opportunities to sit in front of advisors, just get information about your plans and your ideas prior to that day actually happening. So just a couple of things, important dates. March 5th, your application executive summary, have it in, hit submit on PitchBurner by that date. You can make any changes that you want to. You can load your business plan, reload it 3 times, 10 times, doesn't matter. Up until April 27th, and you can't make changes. That's the final, that's what's going to be reviewed. This will be loaded, the presentation and the whole recording is going to be loaded on the site. You're going to have access to this. You can go back, you can look at the scoring metrics. If you want to visit the website, you can see different links that will take you to places to talk about business plans. Our email is on that page. Feel free to contact us. We're always here, and there's always a ton of questions, and that's fine. And if it's a common question, I'll probably be putting it up on the website too. So now Q&A. Questions?
Is our company name have to be registered?
So your company name doesn't have to be registered now, but you do want to have applied for your FIN if you do make the finalists.
So on the membership for your organization,
Okay.
you said those people had to be either alumni or part of the business school? Is that correct?
Yes, one member, I should have said
Just
that.
one member?
Just
Okay.
one member of the
Okay.
team has to fit the qualifications of this, which is it's really nice. A lot of times you have business plan competitions and every single member has to fit those qualifications. One member has to fit the qualifications. Anything else?
Can the international students join this competition?
Yes. Yeah, are you taking classes at CU Denver?
Yeah, yes, please.
In fact, even if you're an alum.
Yeah, even if you're alum, you can still apply.
You were a student 10 years ago. You can still participate in the competition. Even if you're 20,000 minutes.
What about the headquarters or like the place where I should start the business? Like,
The headquarters of your business is international?
yeah,
That's fine. We had 2 last year that were planning international business plans.
So previously, we used to restrict it to Colorado businesses, but what's happened in the past 2 years, we have so many companies from Montana, Wyoming, also apply. So we eliminated that requirement. So right now, you could have a company anywhere in the world, essentially. There's no restriction on where the company is founded. The only restriction is you should be a current student or a past student.
Thanks.
I didn't see the 2014 winners up on the site.
Oh, okay.
Are those going to be up?
Yeah, we can put them up. So Superior Ecotech has actually officially launched their prototype at Upslope Brewing. Superior Ecotech was our winner last year. We actually had 3, I guess you could say, clean energy plans make it to the finals last year, and they were our first, second, and third. Our plans vary from anything. You know, the year before it was a health-related company that won. The year before that it was a mobile lab. The year before that it was, did bagels, were they were second or third. But yeah, so we'll post 2014. We'll get them up there. Just to remind me on that. But yeah, so 2014, Superior Ecotech, they take leftover effects and residual gases from brewing, and they take that, use it to create an algae, and then they use that algae for different bioproducts. So they have officially launched at Upslope. I think October was when they launched their prototype.
As far as the financials go inside the business plan, do you want like a 5-year pro forma or just the financials needed to start up? What do you?
I mean, it depends on.
So for the financials, are you guys looking for like a 5-year outlook to get where what this plan is go, or you guys looking at how much they need to get started up?
That's a very good question. When we say financial, we leave it very loose. It's up to you to come up with the financials. But if you don't know how much money you need for the business, and if you don't know what the projections look like, it's very unlikely that the reviewers are going to be impressed by your business.
I agree.
So I would say 5 years, 3 years minimum. 5 years of projections are ideal, and everything has to fit. Your sales data, how much you're going to sell in various markets has to be tied into the finances. So the whole business plan actually has to come together financially. And so it depends on what works for you and what fits your plan. But I would say have as much as possible, which makes sense. And some people have cash flow statements, which is considered very important. Income statement, of course, the balance sheet. So some people ignore that cash flow statement. So there are very different, there are different perspectives. But a lot of the people who go to the finance will look at the cash flow statement as well. They're looking for, do you have enough cash to run the business? So, operation. So, I would say just do as much as you can. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Out of the previous winners, how many of them had sort of really been had some footing going versus those that were brand new?
So he's asking how many of them had really had already started, and some of them were literally just starting.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Empire Bagels was, well, now Rosenberg Bagels and Delicatessen.
Right.
They had not started.
Most of them are brand new. Most of them are students coming up with ideas in classes. The ideas may be something they've thought about for a while, but they've never actually launched it. Some students, when they know that they're passionate about an idea, by the time the business plan competition shows up, they can actually get a prototype made and so on. So the majority of businesses are brand new. And the 2 year is just to give them a little leeway because some students might have started this last year, applied for the competition and never didn't go through the finals. They make tweaks to that business and apply again. So we want to give them a little leeway, but almost all of them are just brand new. And many of them, Sarah mentioned this, but many of the businesses, even those that don't get to the finals, because of the pitch night and other things, get financing. So we have several very successful businesses that never made it to the finals. And we have several businesses that made it to the finals and failed. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, I can think of, so my first year here, there was a plan for a restaurant, and it was close to the top 15, but it didn't make the top 15. But that company, that restaurant is Plymouth, and it's operating now over in Five Points, and it's actually getting great reviews. Another one is Bar Bets. So, and they did they make the top 15, or was it a year there? They didn't even make the top 15, and they're running.
See, sometimes what happens is that you have a great idea, but a very poorly written plan. And in that situation, you do really well in a pitch night because some people are good talkers and they can pitch the idea really well. And Bar Bets was one of those that scored very highly on the pitch night, and everyone thought, "Wow, what a great idea!" And then when people read the plan, they said, "This is awful." So they never made it to the finals, but by virtue of their pitch and pitch night, somebody funded them. Somebody was so excited about their idea, so they're very successful this time on.
Any other questions? And if you're logged in virtually and you have questions, please feel free to email us and we'll answer those. Okay. Do you have anything to add, MP?
No, good luck. And let us know if you have any more questions and so on.
Yeah.
We want all of you to win.
Yeah, it's something I just thought about, and MP kind of touched on it. We do have applicants that will apply back-to-back years, and there's no restrictions on that. We've had one that made the top 15 twice, and actually 2 years ago, the winner made the top 15 but didn't make the top 6. Took everything he learned from the competition that year, made some revisions, and the next year he won it. So, good luck. Don't forget the important dates. And we'll also be emailing people, and there's going to be a lot of just different marketing blasts that go out. So, but once you get down to the applicants, we'll just be sending reminders about important dates and different things. And again, we'll work with you. Just feel free to contact us. So thanks for coming, guys. Grab some pizza.
Thank you.
I'll stop recording.
Turn off the camera. There's a problem with this. Like once